Welcome to the Writer's Life, the place where you get the sight, sound, smells, taste of my particular writer's life, and where you get the truth about the writer's life. Subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that like button. Really punch it out. And hit that bell for notifications so that you don't miss even one unbelievably exciting video. I don't know why I bust my own balls about that, but I do. Anyway, so old Jeff Zucker's gone now from CNN. So I can't. This isn't what this video is about, but I just couldn't help being a media guy and an independent content creator. That's what they call us now, independent content creators. That's what we are now. I just couldn't help but laugh at the irony of it all. So Jeff Zucker, head of CNN, is doing it, and I mean, he's out because he didn't disclose some sort of relationship with a colleague. So the Cuomo boys are doing their happy dance down in New York. What a mess. What a mess. Like, how can anybody trust the network media? It just boggles the mind that people even turn those stations on. Just boggles the mind. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is Rarity because I lost a friend this week. He was a great guy, former English teacher, but besides being an English teacher, he had which I think is even a more important job. He was a professional bartender, like in Maui, where he knew Tom Selleck and stuff like that. And he lived on a houseboat, I think, or I don't know. But he ran a restaurant in Martha's Vineyard, and he just was the kind of guy with that huge smile and knew everybody, and everybody knew him, and just a really pleasant guy. And he was very encouraging to me about my writing and my career and things like that. And always we would sit at a bar, and talk about writing for ages, and we were always in particular talking about first sentences, who wrote good ones and bad ones and stuff like that. And I believe I think it's possible. I mean, he just died, but he was diagnosed with melanoma less than a month ago, I think, or about a month ago, and it took him that fast. And I had given him a copy of one of my book of short stories, I think Desperate Measures, in exchange for a couple of beers. So that's the kind of guy he was. He's like, I'd love a book, and so it's possible I was the last fiction he read, which I'd be honored about. Anyway, but it reminds me because rather this is reminiscent of something I've said many times before. I don't hang out with a lot of writers because, to be perfectly honest, again, you get the truth here, I don't like them. I have a few select writers who I like and admire and who I like hanging out with because who are just normal people. There's a few in New York, and there's one or two up here who I really like, and I enjoy their company, but not many. And I enjoy the company of real people, and Tom was one of those guys. He was like a real guy, and we used to both park illegally. Well, there's one illegal space at this bar we like to go to, and I would try to get there first before him, and he'd come in the bar and he'd be like, God damn it, you took my space. You took my parking space, Sandry. And we'd have a good chuckle over that. But he was a guy, he was 71 years old, I think, when he passed, and boy, he packed a lot of life in that 71 years. And he told me after he got his diagnosis, he's like, I've lived a great life, if the worst comes to worst, and he did. He lived a great life. He was all worn out, and just like I mentioned in my previous video, he used his body. He used every bit of it, and so no regrets. Of course, I feel for his wife and kids and all that stuff, and death is a funny business, but because I truly believe that if it is at all possible, Tom's on to some new adventure. And loving it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? That's the way I like to think about death, anyway. But I'm sad because he was one of those real guys, real people, who you could talk with about writing and writers in not in an obnoxious way or like I know more than you do. Like it was just like we were talking about like football games, and now I lost that, and it's just a rarity to have that. And but anyway, I'm grateful for having had his friendship. And Tom, you won't be missed. I'll see you on the other side, buddy.